Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video today, and today the Houston Astros beat the Texas Rangers 6-4, and they get the silver boot. For the 8th straight year, the Houston Astros have won the silver boot against the Texas Rangers, and that is amazing to hear. The Astros go 7-6 this year against the Texas Rangers. They had to fight for that silver boot, with losing the first game of this series to be 5-6 against the Rangers, but to get the final two wins of the series, and they can call themselves winners of the silver boot. And this is huge because not only is it the title to the silver boot, but it's also, the fact that in a potential tiebreaker, which, it's pretty easy for a baseball team to get hot. You saw how the Astros were 33-40 on June 19th, and then all of a sudden, a month later, they were number one in the division, and we're like 3 or 4 games, over 500. So it doesn't take long, and there is exactly more than a month left of the season. I don't think the Rangers will turn things around. I don't want them to turn things around, but the Rangers have talent like the Astros have. I will say, even though I don't like the Rangers, they have talent. They have enough talent. The fact that they won a World Series last year, where they can turn things around quickly, like the Astros did. They just get some guys back, and they could potentially get hot. So, but the important thing is, what I'm trying to say is that if they get hot and they turn things around, and the Astros and the Rangers have the same record, the Astros hold that tiebreaker against the Rangers, which is a great feeling to have as an Astros fan. So, in any situation, if the Rangers want to pass the Astros, they have to have a better record. So that is great. But yeah, so 6-4 is the final score in this game. Great game by the Astros, 13 hits. I think it's safe to say, at least from what we saw in the last 2 games, that the offense is back. This offense has woken up. 24 hits in the last 2 days. Last two games, 24 hits, 10 runs. This offense has been completely different than what we saw in the past. 10 games before that? It has been a quick turnaround for this offense in 2 games against the Texas Rangers after that brutal loss. I think that brutal loss actually might have been a good thing for this Astros team. I know people might be saying, why? Why do you say that? Just because the fact that I think that was such a bad loss, such a brutal loss, that it really woke this offense up, and we've seen that in the last 2 games, with the Astros winning yesterday 4-2 and 6-4 today, and having 24 hits in the 2 games. Now, I want to get to 2 guys specifically before I go over the stats of this game. The first guy is Yusei Kikuchi, who goes out there again and has a great start. He goes 5 1/3 of an inning, 5 innings and 1/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. He certainly did better than I thought he would. Going into this game, I didn't know how the Astros would do. I thought the offense would be good, but I didn't know if Kikuchi would do fairly good in this game. And that's not me saying anything bad about him. I really liked what I've seen so far in the last 2 games, but just looking at the numbers, things weren't looking good. If you want to go deep, go into a deep dive of stats, Kikuchi this year has not been good on the road, and he has been terrible in day games. Going to this game, had a 6.35 ERA in day games in 10 or 11 starts with the Toronto Blue Jays. So I didn't think he'd have a terrible outing today. I was expecting maybe 5-6 innings, maybe giving up 5-6, maybe 7 hits with 3 runs potentially, and I didn't see him getting a lot of strikeouts. He ended up having 8. I didn't see him having that many strikeouts against a Rangers team that does not strike out often. I mean, 2 guys who have been getting a bunch of strikeouts for the Astros, and Framber Valdez, who had only 5 yesterday, and Hunter Brown, who's been getting a bunch, only had 4 in the first game. The Rangers are a team who don't strike out often, and I didn't really see him getting 8 strikeouts. So he really impressed me. He gets his first win as an Astro. Unfortunately, in his first start, he did not get the win because the offense was terrible. But this time, the offense backed him up, which was a great thing. So he gets his first win as an Astro. He's 5-9 on the year, 1-0 as an Astro. He goes 5 innings and 1/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, and looks great. So in his first 2 outings as an Astro, he's pitched 11 innings, giving up 4 runs, which honestly, the last run is kind of sucks because honestly, I don't think that last run should have been charged to him. I know the fact that it definitely was, and there's nothing you can do about it. But it's just it's more of Taylor Scott's fault. But basically, Kikuchi gave up a walk to, I believe it was Josh Young. No, it was Wyatt Langford. He gave up a walk to Wyatt Langford right before the Astros took him out, and then Taylor Scott comes in and gives up a triple to Nathaniel Lowe, and that earned run gets charged to Kikuchi. So that's a really tough thing right there. Definitely know that earned run goes to Kikuchi. There's nothing you can do to change that, but that is a tough blow right there. When that was really Taylor Scott's fault in that sixth inning. And he's looked great in 2 outings. He really has. He has given up a couple walks in both of his outings. Strikeouts though have been great. Total of 11 strikeouts in his first outing, 8 today, so 19. I was thinking about 12 in his last outing because of Spencer Arrighetti, because we saw Arrighetti get 12, but Kikuchi had 11. So 19 strikeouts in his first 2 outings, which is amazing. Only 4 earned runs. He's only given up a total of 7 hits, I believe, in 11 innings. And the cool thing is that if you look at what he's done outside of his first 2 at-bats, the first 2 at-bats he faced as an Astro, when he gave up the 2-run home run in his first outing, if you look outside of those first 2 batters he faced, he's pitched 11 innings, giving up only 5 hits, 2 runs, with 19 strikeouts. But still, I mean, even with those 2 runs that he gave up on Friday, he still has an ERA of 3.24 in 2 starts with the Astros with 19 strikeouts. So he's been great. And I'm not saying that the Astros won the trade because they've had 2 great starts from Kikuchi, but things look a lot better than what we thought they would be so far. But let's hope he can keep that up. Now, the second guy I want to talk about was Zach DeZinzo, because DeZinzo had a great game today. As a rookie in his second game, he went 2 for 3 with a walk. He had a double. He scored 2 runs. Great base running as well in this game. Off of it was a double by Dubon in the 6th inning. DeZinzo got on base because of a single to left in the 6th. And Dubon then hit a double down the gap. Great base running by DeZinzo because he was able to score from first to home, going from first to home. So I know it's a double, it's down the gap, so it's a little bit easier to score. But he did show some great base running there, and he definitely had a great game in his second game of his career. So he showed some really good things in this one. Let's go into the stats, though. 6-4 is the final score. 13 hits for the Astros, 9 for the Rangers, 1 error for the Astros, which is the only error in this game. 0 for the Rangers. Win to Kikuchi's 5-9, and you already went over his stats. Loss goes to Jose Urena. He's 3-7 on the year now. He pitched 4 innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs, 0 strikeouts, 3 walks. Save goes to Josh Hader, his 24th of the year. He pitched a total of 1 inning, giving up 1 strikeout. Even though the Astros had him warming up in that 7th inning, but he didn't give up a hit, didn't give up a walk, looked good. Josh Hader's 1 save away from tying the Astros' consecutive saves in history at 25. Astros franchise history at 25. He has 24. All right, scoring summary. Jeremy Pena helped the Astros score their first run in that first inning, grinding into fielder's choice at shortstop. Bregman scored. Yanner Diaz out at second. Alverez to third. It's 1-0. In the third inning, Yordan Alverez hit his second homer of the series. He's absolutely killed it on the road this year. Yordan has a batting average of .353 on the road this year. Today, he went 1 for 3 with a walk. And his home run was to center, 415 feet. It's 2-0. How about Victor Caratini? He's looked really good as a backup catcher this year, and he continues to look good. I believe this was his 8th or 9th home run of the year now. A home run to right, 373 feet. It's 3-0. 6th inning, Mauricio Dubon with a double to left. DeZinzo scored. It's 4-0. 6th inning, Altuve single to center. Dubon scored. It's 5-0. The Rangers did go on a little bit of a run in the 6th inning. Simeon hits a home run, which is the first run charged to Yusei Kikuchi, 5-1. And then Lowe hits a triple to left. Langford scored 5-2. Kikuchi gets the earned run because of Langford. even though Taylor Scott gave up the triple, but that's how baseball works. That's how the rules work. And it's 5-2. And then in that inning, Taylor Scott does get charged a run here. Alverez hits a sacrifice fly to right to score low, and that's where the triple really hurts you because then it's 5-3. But the Astros do, get the lead back up to 3 when Bregman hits an RBI single to right. DeZinzo scores another run. Dubon to third at 6-3. And then Jonah Heim in the 8th inning, single to left. Frankfurt scored. Garcia to second at 6-4. Astros lineup, we're going to go over their individual hitters. Altuve went 1 for 4 today with an RBI. Second inning walk for Altuve. He had a single to center to get Dubon to Dubon to score in the 6th inning. I was going to say second, but Dubon did score in that inning, and Altuve got the RBI. So RBI for Altuve today, a walk, a single, not bad for Jose. Then Bregman, 2 for 5, first inning single to center. He also had an 8th inning single to right to score DeZinzo. So he scored a run in this game, and he had an RBI. Good day for Bregman. And that's back-to-back games with 2 hits for Bregman, I believe. Then Yordan Alverez went 1 for 3. He had a first inning walk. He had a home run in the 3rd. He had a walk in the 7th. And his 2 at-bats where he did not have a hit were flyouts to right and left. So he made contact in every single at-bat if you look outside of the walks. Chasson McCormick did come in this game, which was a good decision for the Astros to put him in left field. He didn't have an at bat, which is a better thing than putting him in the outfield. But much rather late game situation where Yordan's not going to get any more at bats. Would much rather have Chasson McCormick in the outfield than Yordan Alverez. And then Yanner Diaz went 3 for 5 today. He had the most hits on the team, even though the Astros had a total of 5 players with multiple hits in this game. Yanner Diaz was the only one to reach 3 hits. He had an infield single in the 1st inning to load the bases. He had a 3rd inning single to center. He had a 9th inning single to center, and the 2 at-bats he did not reach base was a ground out to catcher in the 5th and a 7th inning strikeout swinging. Jeremy Pena was 0 for 4 today outside of Jake Myers. He was the only guy not to have a hit in the lineup today. Not mad about JP because the last 2 games he's been pretty good. He scored 2 runs yesterday for the Astros. Then on the first game Monday went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. But hope for him to be doing better. And he also had an RBI in this game as well. So 3 RBIs in the series. But an RBI in the 1st inning for the Astros, and then in the 9th inning, he was hit by pitch, Yanner Diaz to second. So not the day you wanted for Jeremy Pena, but if you look at it, he didn't have a terrible series. As he went 2 for 4 in the first game, and then scored 2 runs yesterday, getting on base twice, and then today he got on base once, getting hit by pitch, and had an RBI. Victor Caratini went 2 for 4 with a walk in the 1st inning, a 3rd inning single to center. They got Yanner Diaz to second, a home run in the 6th inning, and then grounded out in his final 2 at-bats, which leaves him going 2 for 4. Jake Myers went 0 for 5 after a great 2 for 4 day with 2 RBIs yesterday, striking out once, grounding out 3 times, and flying out. So at least he didn't strike out a billion times like usual when he struggles. Zach DeZinzo went 2 for 3 in his 2nd major league game. He doubled to left in his 1st at-bat. He lined out to right in his 2nd. Then he, in the 6th inning, singled to left. In the 8th, he walked. So reached base 3 out of 4 times in his 2nd major league game. That is definitely a great sign for the Houston Astros. And in his first 7 at-bats in his major league career, he's 2 for 7. He has scored 2 runs. He has had 1 extra base hit with a walk. And the final good thing is that in 7 at-bats, he has had 5 at-bats where he does not reach base and does nothing. Only one of those 5 at-bats where he does nothing is a strikeout. So for a rookie player who is in their first 2 games of the major leagues has had 5 at-bats where they do not reach base or don't do anything, and only one of those is a strikeout. So only 1 strikeout in 7 at-bats. That's definitely a good sign. Mauricio Dubon went 2 for 4 today. The Astros needed him to look good, and they've missed him having success at the plate, and that's something he has not had in the last month, and he's been terrible. But today that was different. A double to left, DeZinzo scored, RBI, and then a single to right in the 8th inning, DeZinzo to second. Great day for Doobie. Let's go to the Astros pitching outside of Yusei Kikuchi. The Astros had to, rely on Taylor Scott, which they usually can rely on him, but today that was different. He gives up a walk, a hit, and a run, and only gets one out of that sixth inning. Pitches 13 pitches and gets taken out of the ball game. Brian Abreu came in, pitched the last out of the sixth inning, and then the entire seventh inning. He got his first two. He pitched 4 outs. He got his first 2 outs in 2 pitches, but then took another 15 pitches to get the last 2 outs. But in working the 6th and 7th inning, he gave up 1 hit, but had a strikeout. So good way for the Astros to get the Astros out of that jam in that 6th inning, and not only get us out of the jam, but have a clean 7th inning as well. All right, Ryan Presley would end up pitching in the 8th inning for the Astros. Things were rough, giving up 3 hits and 1 earned run. But Presley, let's remind everybody that Presley recently just had 13 straight outings without giving up a run. He has been struggling in this series, giving up 2 runs in the series, but Presley just needs to move on and continue to do what he's been doing before this series, because he was doing great before this series. So hopefully that can come back. Presley did give up 3 hits with 1 run, but had a strikeout and allowed for no more damage to be given up like it could have been. Then Josh Hader pitched in the 9th, getting a strikeout, giving up no hits, no walks, no runs, and he gets the save. So that was great for the Astros. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros win in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.